The nine-banded armadillo is one of the most unique mammals on this planet, known for its bony armor and its ability to roll into a tight ball when threatened. But there's so much more to these strange creatures than meets the eye. In today's episode, we're going to look at what the science has revealed about the biology of the armadillo. The word armadillo comes from the Spanish word arma, meaning weapon, and the Italian word for little, which is a diminutive form of armor. These little weapons are indeed the most outstanding feature of this animal. But while you might think that they are made out of bone or perhaps chitin like the shell of a turtle, they're actually made out of keratin. That's the same protein that makes up your fingernails and hair. Armadillos have between 3 and 9 bands of armor, and each band is made up of several smaller scales, which overlap one another. This gives them an overall appearance of being segmented, but it's just an illusion. The number of bands is one of the main differences between the different species of armadillos. And because of this, the 9-banded armadillo is also sometimes called the common many-plated armadillo. There's a lot of variation in the number of plates within the different species. For example, the pink fairy armadillo only has 40 to 60 large plates covering its head and back, while the 6-banded armadillo can have up to 250 plates. Some of the larger armadillos can weigh up to 120 pounds, and despite their bulky appearance, they are surprisingly agile. They can run up to 30 miles per hour and even climb trees with ease. And if a predator gets a bit too close for comfort, they can curl up into a tight ball, protecting their soft underbelly with their armor. They might even roll up into a ball if they feel stressed or are simply trying to conserve body heat. And while this might sound cute, don't get any funny ideas. Despite their small size, armadillos can be incredibly strong and can easily break bones if they roll up on you, so keep your distance. But how exactly do armadillos move around without impaling themselves on their own armor? Well, thanks to some clever evolutionary adaptations, the inside of an armadillo's armor has no sharp edges. Instead, it has a smooth, rubbery lining which reduces friction and allows the animal to bend its body without getting cut. It's like having your very own personal lubricant. In addition to the bony armor on their bodies, armadillos also have armored heads. These are not solid, though, but are full of air pockets that make them lightweight. Armadillos also have special neck vertebrae that allow them to twist their heads side to side, giving them great flexibility when foraging for food. They use their sense of smell to find tasty treats such as insects, earthworms, small reptiles and amphibians, eggs, and just about anything else that moves. They're also known for being voracious eaters of armadillos. Yes, you heard me right. While there are 7 species of armadillos in the world, there's also an insect called the armadillo that preys on them. These parasites burrow face down in the back of an armadillo's throat and suck blood out of their hosts. So, if you ever see an armadillo rolling around in pain, it might not just be in a bad mood. It could be trying to dislodge a blood-sucking parasite. While armadillos are often portrayed as dim-witted animals, they actually have brains that are significantly larger than other mammals of similar size. Their intelligence is comparable to that of dogs and cats, making them one of the smartest groups of mammals in the Americas. And while we're on the topic of smarts, let's talk about how armadillos navigate the world around them. You might think that because they spend so much time rooting around on the ground, they wouldn't need good eyesight. But that's not the case. Armadillos have excellent vision, with eyes on the top of their heads that give them a nearly 360-degree field of view. Their eyesight is so good, in fact, that people who live in areas where armadillos are common are sometimes woken up at night by them looking in their windows. And now I want to take a moment to talk about something that might seem gross, but is really fascinating. You see, armadillos give birth to really tiny babies, and their armor doesn't start developing until after they're born. Since their mothers can't protect them while they're still defenseless, newborn armadillos will stay in their mother's pouch for up to 2 months, drinking her milk and getting their strength up. On average, they stay there for 6 weeks. Speaking of baby armadillos, did you know that a female can have up to 20 babies at once? Now that's a lot of little armadillos running around. They all stay in mommy's pouch until they reach old enough to venture out into the big wide world. And if you're wondering how long it takes for these tiny armadillos to reach adulthood, well, the answer is 4 years. That's when they reach sexual maturity and are able to have babies of their own. But wait, there's more. Armadillos have been known to live up to 20 years in the wild, although they typically only live for around half that time. In captivity, however, they can live for over 30 years. Now, did you know that armadillos can swim? And not just any old swimming. I'm talking about deep-sea swimming. They can hold their breath underwater for up to an hour, diving to depths of up to 98 feet. That's deeper than the average swimming pool. How do we know that they can do this? Because people have seen them snatch fish and turtles underwater. But why would an armadillo want to go deep-sea diving? Well, it turns out that they have a natural talent for finding tasty underwater treats. They can detect prey through subtle changes in water temperature, and even locate submerged roots to feast on. And here's another fun fact. When an armadillo dives, it releases air from its armor to help it sink. Then once it reaches the bottom, the air in its lungs acts like a flotation device, allowing it to float back up to the surface. Okay, I've got one more incredible fact about armadillos that I just couldn't resist sharing. Are you ready for this? In 1999, a group of researchers captured an armadillo in Texas and found that it had leprosy. Leprosy is a bacterial infection that usually affects armadillos in South America. But this was the first documented case of leprosy in a wild armadillo in the United States. What is really fascinating about this particular case is that the armadillo had contracted leprosy from a 9-banded armadillo. 9-banded armadillos are native to North America and don't normally carry leprosy. So this was a rare example of a mammal transmitting a disease to another mammal. It just goes to show that there's always something new to learn about the natural world. So there you have it, a deep dive into the amazing world of armadillos. If you learned something new today, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.